What's going on, world? DS1 Ross back. Morning to the family. I'm here. I'm here to talk to the people, y'all. And I'm here to give my perspective on a new movie, Get Out. But I want to touch on it from a specific perspective. And as y'all can see in the title, The Sunken Place. That's what I want to touch on. I want to touch on the sunken place and how do black people get out. Um, I'm gonna say that the sunken place that we're in is the exact same sunken place that was in the movie. The sunken place that black people are stuck in is in our minds, family. Is in our minds. And we're stuck there, almost just like in the movie, to the point where it's almost like we're hypnotized. And what we need to figure out, family, is first, we need to admit that black people as a collective is stuck in that sunken place. First, we have to admit that. And the sunken place is a mindset. We're stuck in a trance, family, as black folks, as a collective. We have our individual successes, but we're not free as a people because we're stuck in this sunken place. And I love how they depicted that in the movie and how they showed that every black person who was who was a slave in the movie were stuck in that sunken place. And the masses of black people are slaves. And I believe us who deem ourselves conscious or aware or whatever we want to call it, we understand that the masses is slaves. They're slaves because they're stuck in that sunken place, you know? And I feel like one of the sunken places that we're stuck in our mind, is we're caught up in trying to impress them. So that leads to a mindset called consumerism. I believe that's one sunken place that we as a people fall under, consumerism. And we're stuck there, family. We just cannot stop spending our money with our oppressors. It's it's like a habit. It's like a religion, you know? It's almost, I believe it's a disease for black people. The way we spend so much money, but our men are the least employed. Our women are the most intellectual. So how are we the biggest consumers? Still, it doesn't make practical sense. But that's how you know we're in a sunken place. That's how you know we're caught up in the mindset, family. Because how is it that our women are the most educated in the world, black women, and then black men is the least hired, but we still find a way to spend the most money? Out of everybody else, we spend the most money because we're stuck in that sunken place in our minds. So we go out and buy things to make us feel better about our oppression. You see? But us going out and purchasing things doesn't take us out of that sunken place. It actually keeps us there. And if you notice in the movie, once those people were put under hypnosis and taken to that sunken place, they use that sunken place to keep that person in line. So if a person has an outbreak, like you saw in the movie, they can go back and put them back into that sunken place. And when I was watching the movie, I was wondering, how did they get there? How was she able to hypnotize him? And I noticed that when she hypnotized the main character, um, she took him back to his childhood, and she hypnotized him from his past. And that was deep to me, because what that shows is that they control us through our pain. They psychologically use our pain to control us. So this is why consumerism is prevalent between us black people, because they know that we were slaves and we didn't have the best of things. We had the worst of things. So they understand how the mind works. And this is why they changed or refined the form of slavery. It went from physical and chattel slavery to economic and mental. That's because they have to keep us in the sunken place. So they must continue to find ways to keep us under hypnosis, like they showed in the movie. Because they don't want too many people to wake up out of the sunken place. That's how you have brothers like Micah X. Johnson. See, he woke up out of the sunken place and killed people. You see, they don't want that. They don't want us to get up out of the sunken place. So they do everything in their power to keep us there. So they must continue to come up with different isms. See, isms is dealing with your psyche. So they keep us in these sunken places dealing with these different isms. And they show that in the movie. You know, one of the brothers, you know, the guy who actually screamed the title out in the movie, Get Out, when, you know, the cop did the history on this guy, He was a guy from their old neighborhood, you know, who just went somewhere one day and just disappeared. And nobody never saw him again. These are real life occurrences, family. I know people that has happened to in my neighborhood. I know a guy personally who that happened to. Cool guy, party guy. Just like this dude in the movie. One day he just disappears. But one day he came back to my neighborhood and he was in a sunken place in his mind. He couldn't even communicate to us correctly anymore. This dude used to be a cool type of guy. You know, he was in the in crowd, but he got connected to the wrong people and he was sent to that sunken place in his mind. And I'm going to say about a good going on 10 years now, he killed himself. He killed himself. He jumped off the Manhattan Bridge in New York City. So this is real, family. This is real. And we must understand how serious and how symbolic the movie Get Out is for our people. And it also shows the aspect of the swirl and what can be some of the consequences of Black men wanting to deal with white women. And not just any white woman, but prestigious white women. You see? Is it really a good thing, brothers, to deal with white women? Is it? You can like who you want to like. I'm not telling you who to date. But based off of this movie, it shows that in no way, shape, or form would that benefit us. Because as you can see, those prestigious white folks use us as ornaments. They use us as trinkets. They use us as tools. You see? See, I don't know if anybody in the chat saw the movie, but in the movie, when she was introducing the brother to these other prestigious white folks, they was touching his arms like, "Ooh, he's strong." And one of the guys said, "Black is fashion." Like, you have to pay attention to things like that in that movie. Listen to the things that when they had the meeting over at her house, listen to the things that those Anglo-Saxons was saying about these Black people. Pay attention to how the brother was married to an old white woman. She had to be at least 30 years older than him. You see? All of that whole movie was a representation of how the upper echelon whites use us as basically something that they can play with. We're just toys to them. We're like exotic toys. That's why you had young white girls They had little black girls to come and play with them back in the day because they used them as dolls. So we have to really pay attention to that in the movie on how they was describing how they're going to use us and what they use us for. You know, like the guy who was married to the old woman, you could tell he's used for sex. He's used for sex and yard work. That's what they use him for. You see? Pay attention to when she introduced him to her family and her brother was saying certain things to him. Like, you will be a great UFC fighter. Because basically what he was telling the brother was, you're elite because you're black. And they knew that. You see? But we are stuck in the sunken place as black folks. So we don't understand our value. We don't understand our power. And this is what the brother tell the black guy. You don't even know why you're here. See, he never paid attention to that because he was already in a sunken place in his mind by just being with this prestigious white girl. He thought he was special. Yo, I'm from the hood. I got me a rich white girl. I done came up. See, you could tell he came from that posture because he knew stuff wasn't right. But he kept quiet because he didn't want to blow his opportunity. You see, gotta pay attention to that, family. Because this is why you have Kanye West. Kanye West is in a sunken place. See, we gotta pay attention, family. We gotta make the connections. We have to make the connections, y'all. We think these incidents are isolated when they're not. They're all connected, man. Kanye West is in a sunken place. You see? And every once in a while, when shit starts to break down, they have to go back and put them back under hypnosis. You know, that was the whole reason for him going to that hospital and all of that. What do you think that was about? They took him back to the doctor and they put him back under. Just like what they showed you in the movie. You see? Lamar Odom, sunken place. He started dealing with Khloe Kardashian and started smoking crack himself. They found him half dead in the whorehouse, cracked out. His brother was an NBA champion, played with some of the greatest athletes in the world. How you take your life to that? How your life end up there? Look at all the other brothers that them women done ruined. Snatching these broken men up and hypnotizing them. So we have to understand how these movies play out in real life. And if we don't understand that getting out of the sunken place in our minds is the most important thing, we're going to stay there and we're going to continue to float and hover. We're going to continue to do that. Newsflash, family, everybody's not going to be saved. Some people are going to stay in the sunken place. And maybe some people you love, but some people will stay there. Only the ones who want to get out will. And that's what we must understand. The only ones who want to get out will. But as you can see in the movie, we're going to have to fight. We're going to have to fight. And the first thing we must do before we fight through all of these isms, because that's what controls the sunken place in real life. Consumerism, racism, favoritism, classism. See, these isms keep us in the sunken place. It keeps us in a sunken place fighting each other when we don't even know that we're under hypnosis. We're under spells. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Peace 118. Peace Doug. Peace Jade. You know? So we must understand, family. We got to get out. We must get out. How do we get out? By first realizing that we're under a spell. Because see, in the movie, if you noticed, trying to ignore everything. He kept trying to believe that, he kept trying to make himself believe that what he was seeing, he's exaggerating, or, you know, he's bugging out. You see, we have to stop fooling ourselves, first of all, into thinking that the sunken place doesn't exist. Things that go on, that went on in that movie is not real. See, first we have to come to terms with that. And then we got to learn that they are not our friends. They're not. They are not. They're not our allies. They're not our friends. We must understand that, family. We must understand how they look at us. We're nothing to them. We're just trinkets. We're like ornaments on a Christmas tree. You're nothing to them. They show you that in the movie. We're nothing but athletes to them. We can jump high so they can make money off of us. Black is beautiful. This is why they encourage our women to be part of their modeling agencies, media, because they're using our gifts, our things that make us special, and they're using it as tools for them. You see? That's why I said, if y'all didn't see the movie, go back and watch it and listen to the subtle things that, you know, these rich white folks were saying about black people and about black, period. Like I was blown away when one of the guys said, Black is fashionable. It's trendy. And then I started thinking about all these shows that was coming out. Orange is the New Black. You see, they're turning us into marketing. They're using us and turning it into marketing strategies, turning us into ad campaigns. Doing this is why they want to grab the tallest, strongest, and biggest black guy and put him on a football field or put him on a basketball court. And they will help him graduate through school. They'll give him all the tutoring. They'll get teachers to make him pass. His star basketball player. He's going to be the next Deion Sanders. You see? He's going to be your next Ray Lewis. You see? So we have to understand, what are they doing to us? And look at Ray Lewis now. Sunken place. He don't have the mind or the heart to speak up in favor for his people. He speaks up in favor for his handlers. And as you can see in the movie, if you saw the movie, that's what those rich white folks acted as, handlers. Kim Kardashian is. What do you think Kylie Jenner is? What do you think Chloe is? These are handlers. You see? They're handlers. They were taught how to handle black men, how to deal with them. This is why every black man that them women got with, they ruined them. You see? We got to pay attention, family. We dealing with this movie every day. Every day, y'all. And this sunken place thing is real. It's real because a lot of us is stuck in that sunken place. And we stuck there, one, because we don't know that we there. We don't know that we're there. And two, figure out how to get out. And see, the one thing we must do is, one, like I always say, admit that you have a problem. And then after that, what we must do is start to break down certain things in our mind dealing with our past. See, our past is something that's very prevalent. And we always talk about our past, here on our live streams and stuff like that. But this is why I always said we must use our past and our pain to progress. Because if we don't, if we use it to stagnate us, to keep us in fear, that's the sunken place, family. That's the sunken place where we dwell at as Black people. We're stuck and stagnated within our pain, within our past experiences. We're still even stuck dealing with post-traumatic slavery disorder. That's a sunken place. You see? And becoming conscious helps you become aware, because that's all it means. It see that, hey, I need to get up out of here. And as you could see in the movie, it came a point in time where the brother was like, I got to get out of here. These people are wicked. I got to get out of here. You see? But one thing that they didn't show in the movie is they touched on it, but they didn't really break it down, where they talk about how we got to the sunken place. And in the movie, the brother got to the sunken place through the loss of his mom. And from the time he was young, instead of him dealing with the fact that he lost his mother, he ignored it. And see, once he told that wicked ass woman that, she used that. Here. So we have to watch who we talk to, family. Because the person that you can be expressing yourself to could be the ones that to put you or help you stay in a sunken place in your mind. Shout out to Dr. Yaya. She said, get rid of toxic people. See, toxic people keep you in that sunken place. That's what toxic people does. It keeps you in that sunken place. Because toxic people are in a sunken place themselves. So anything that they do revolve around their programming. You see? And in the movie, they showed that. He was around other handlers who had black slaves. And he was about to get married to the daughter of the one who hypnotized everyone. You see? See, he didn't even know that he was chosen by white supremacists. And see, a lot of us are in that sunken place. We think if we get that opportunity to date one of those types of people, we think we have arrived as black folks. See, that's what the brother thought. He from the hood. He never grew up with nothing. So when that girl chose him, he felt he was special. Shout out to Jade in the chat. Shout out to Sister Geneva. Peace, sister. Shout out to Munchie in the chat. What up, Munchie? But see, we have to stop thinking that, family. We got to stop thinking because we deal or we have the opportunity to deal white folks that we have arrived. Because we don't know what they have planned for us. You see? And this is why you see a lot of our quote unquote successful black people years later after their success, they're nothing. They're nothing. You know why? Because they're stuck in that sunken place. He don't know what to do after football. He don't know what to do after basketball. See? He don't know what to do after acting. He don't know what to do after being a rapper. in place. You see? The people that we like to call sellouts in our community, they're stuck in that sunken place. They're comfortable driving their BMWs, pulling up in a suburban neighborhoods, and having a little trinkets, you know, being able to eat where quote unquote upper echelon white folks can eat. And they're stuck in that place. They think that that's freedom. You see? They think because they can eat Ruth Chris every night, they're free. They're successful. I've made it. When you just caught up in a sunken place. Because see, to be free is to be free at mind and to be free at heart. You see? So we have a lot of successful Black people, but do we have a lot of free Black people? Success don't make you free, family. Success is personal. Liberation and freedom is for the people. You see? And this is how we get caught up in a sunken place. Because we're in a race for success. You see? And see, these white supremacists understand that poor Blacks just want a taste of their lifestyle. And that's evident because you have poor Black neighborhoods. You could go to any poor Black neighborhood nowadays in any big city, and you got dudes on the corner with Gucci shoes. He got lint in his pocket, but he got on Gucci shoes. See, I remember a time, I'm young, I'm only 31, but I remember a time where the fashion in the neighborhood was champion. You see, was flight jackets, was Timberlands. Now you got these young boys on the corner with Balenciaga. See, and I ask my young boys this. Why do you think they let y'all wear that now? Why do you have Gucci in outlet malls? Why? Why is Louis outletting their clothes? Armani outletting their clothes? Michael Kors outletting their clothes? Why are they making it cheap and available to poor Blacks? Did we ever ask ourselves that? That's to keep us in that sunken place of consumerism. You see? So you think because you got your little good job and you think you could go shop at the outlet malls, you think you have arrived. You see? And this is why they make sure that the privileged Blacks, the ones that work in corporate America, the ones that live in these upscale communities, they make sure that they stay in a sunken place. They make sure they mentally stay stuck. And you know what they do? You know how they keep them in a sunken place? By threatening them to go back to the hood. This is why any prestigious Black in society, when they start to stand up politically, what do? They hurt them economically. They hurt them economically. And I'm gonna do a live stream about this, but maybe this is why Colin Kaepernick decided to stand down. Because they start wearing his ass out financially. And nobody wants to go back to the hood. Especially after saying fuck the hood. Because that's what a lot of us do when we get something in life. Fuck the hood. You heard what 50 said. Fuck the hood, man. I ain't never going back there, man. But these white supremacists is trying to take everything he owns so he can go back to the hood. You see? And see, when you're faced with that, that's when they know they could get you back in line. You don't want to go back to that form or the memory of being in that sunken place. See, a lot of our sunken places too is the hood. Having that hood mentality is a sunken place for us. This is why when we get money, all we do is go buy those clothes, those European homosexual clothes, and go buy European cars. Because that's the sunken place we're caught in. Wanting to live their life, wanting to taste that lifestyle. You know, waking up in the morning, you got a milkman delivering you milk. Everybody know the postman. You wake up, your neighbors speaking to you. Everybody grass cut. Everybody got a white picket fence. Everybody got a pool in the backyard. See, the white supremacists know that we want to taste that life. They know that. You see? This is why they pull the ones that they do pull up to show us and to keep us in that sunken place in our mind, to keep chasing our tails. Oh, I'm gonna live in the Hamptons one day. Then you get the money to move to the Hamptons, and you move to the Hamptons, and they still get you the hell out their neighborhood. Because that sunken place that black people are caught in is consumerism and money. See, they give off an illusion that they're ruled by money, but they're not. They use money for what it's for, a tool. You see? So they know if they use their money to paint a picture of something being clean and being pure and being gratifying, they know that that'll keep us in that sunken place. See? So their communities look nice, but those mansions are whorehouses. We don't know that though. We don't understand that though. You see, a lot of them big houses in the Hamptons are nothing but brothels, are nothing but coke havens. People in there having ski parties. People in there popping pills. In these rich, elaborate homes in these suburban areas that black people want to run to. You see? See, that's what that movie depicted too. The things that go on in these upper echelon neighborhoods and the type of people that these white supremacists are. Look who the father was. He was a doctor. But look what he used his expertise for. You see? But they like to paint the image of the happy family. See, if you noticed in the movie, they showed him that commercial when they strapped him to the chair and further hypnotize them with commercials and ads, marketing, family. He was programmed through subliminal messages through commercials. That's why they showed him the commercial of the white family, because he never had a family. You see? So maybe you will get down with the swirl and go be part of a white family. You see? So we got to understand how important marketing is and what marketing actually is. It's a mental science. That's really what it is. It's mental warfare. It's propaganda. You see? And to some extent, we all programmed, y'all. We can't lie to ourselves. But are we in that sunken place? You see? So learning to start deprogramming what we see and start to understand and start to become symbol literate. When you see certain things in movies and certain things in society, if you know what they are and can break it down and apply it, this is another way you can remove yourself from the sunken place. Because the sunken place is real. And we all can be there. Because we all have a subconscious mind. We all have a subconscious mind. And that's where we're programmed at, subconsciously. And this is the importance of propaganda and commercials and TV. This is why they strapped him to a chair and made him watch television. You see that? And then how did he stop the programming? He put cotton in his ears. So what he did was he stopped listening to the propaganda. That's what we have to start doing, family. We have to stop listening to their bullshit. Anything that they tell us, we must challenge it. And you make comparative analysis. We're intelligent. Put it on a scale. Apply it to your life. Will it work for you? How will it affect you? We got to be practical with shit. And we got to be real. And just because something may hurt or change our situation, then we have to figure out in our minds if we really want to deal with it or not. Because see, that's the power of the sunken place. It's subliminal programming. So you could consciously, you can be aware of the sunken place, but if you don't know how to read the signs and read between the lines, you're going to put yourself back in the sunken place. You see? And in the movie, the brother figured out how to stop the programming. He put the cotton in his ears because he done got immune to looking at it. But what was really getting in his mind is the words, him constantly hearing it over and over. Just like when she stirred a teacup, the sound of it takes him to the sunken place. So this is why we must be mindful of what we're listening to and what we're watching. See, fuck who's saying it. See, we get caught up in that sunken place of favoritism. Oh, I like him, but everything he's telling you is wrong. See, we got to get out of that. We got to pay attention to the messages, family. Not the messenger, but the messages. Because that's what's ruling our minds, family. Messages, subliminal messages. Think about the slogan for Snickers. If you're hungry, why wait? Grab a Snickers. Now, if your ass on the go and you walk past a corner store, because a lot of us live in inner cities, and you hungry, but you ain't got time to sit down and eat, your ass might grab a Snickers. And see how I figured that out is I caught myself one day. I said, damn, I wanted a snack and I went and bought a Snickers. God damn, I'm programmed. I'm programmed. I can't lie to myself. I'm programmed to a certain extent. I went and grabbed the Snickers and waited for the bus. And if you notice, a lot of corner stores in the cities are outside of train stations and bus stops. So we have to understand how deep marketing plays in this, family, and how marketing and advertisements play in our programming. You see? This is why we even have ads in our videos when you monetize your page. You see? So they're attaching their message to our message. This is why we have to pay attention to what we say, because what we say is very important. Because what they're trying to do now is commercialize conscious information. Or I'm going to say, not even conscious information, because they already did that. It's called New Age. I'm going to say commercialize the Black conscious movement and anything that has anything to do with it. They're trying to commercialize it. This is why we must get out of the sunken place in our minds, family. Because as long as we in that sunken place, we don't know who the enemy is. And they show that in the movie. When that brother woke up and got up out that sunken place, he realized he was in a house full of killers. He was in the house full of killers. They were going to kill him. No, they weren't going to kill him. They were, being that they took him to the sunken place in his mind. If you paid attention to the movie, they had an auction. And he was brought. Slavery, y'all. See, we got to pay attention. He was bought. And he's very intelligent. He's a college kid. And if you noticed, the picture that they show of the brother is his eyes. And that's what the white supremacist dude brought him for. He wanted his eyes. He wanted to see life again. So in order for that dude who paid millions of dollars for that dude and his eyes, they had to hypnotize him to keep him in a sunken place so the guy who purchased his eyes can see and use his mind and not have the mind of the person who's under hypnosis. That's some deep shit. So we're being used as surrogates for these old, rich, white people. They're using us. But the only way that they can continue to use that is if we stay in that sunken place, y'all, in our minds. So I'm gonna go to the chat, see what y'all been talking about, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thanks for coming through and showing me love, man. That's a fact, bro. That's a fact, Rob. Social engineering is definitely real. It's definitely real. And they even take it further than that. Peace to Sir Hebler. But yeah, this is a real thing, family. Black people are stuck in that sunken place. And we like to talk about liberation and freedom. We got to get out that sunken place first. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat real quick. I'm going to see if anybody want to come on. You know, I'm going to wrap this up in a minute. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat real quick, see if anybody want to come on and, you know, anybody who saw the movie that want to give their perspective or just chime in on anything that I said, you know, anything to that extent. But anybody is welcome, you know. I'm going to drop the link real quick. Shout out to Matt. Good looking, bro. Good looking. So anybody want to come on and give their input, it'll be honored, you know. And we need to talk about this, family. And we need to talk about it. We need. I love to hear other people's perspectives, because the sunken place is really what the whole movie was about. You see, and I think a lot of people didn't really catch that. That's why, you know, I did this show the way I did it, because the sunken place is very, 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 very key when combating this war. And this is why I always say, too, that war is mental. Sun Tzu, the war is mental. And in the movie, they show you how they attacked every black person, how they was able to control and manipulate every black person mentally. Sunken place. So we need to touch on that. We need to touch on that, family. So anybody who want to come in and chime in on that, y'all can. I would definitely love to hear from the sisters too. Definitely would love to hear from the sisters. Jade, you funny. So yeah, family. Nobody want to get on, I see. Nobody want to chime in. So, like I said, family, the solution to getting out of this sunken place in our minds is, first, we must realize that we're all programmed and we're all under the thumb of social engineering, like the brother Rob said. You know, we must all first understand that we're ruled by ads. You see, this is why our channels, or for people who monetize their channels, is controlled through AdSense. So we have to understand first that the war that we're fighting is a mental war. So all these people that you hear saying we need to bang on the beast, in what way? In what way? Because they don't need no gun to kill us. They could kill all of us the way they killed Johnny Cochran. Send a crazy frequency signal through your cell phone and blow your goddamn brains out your head. They don't need that. The war that's being fought is mental. To run around and murder us, to implant fear. To implant fear. That's to show the people who want to rebel in the streets, you better think twice, nigga. That's what those murders are for. Mental programming. You see that? This is why they broadcast the murders of our people. This is why. For anybody who want to take shit to the streets. This is why. This is why they sending the National Guard into some towns and pushing tanks through city streets. This is why they're doing that. They implant fear. Because they know if we scared, we're stuck now. And that sunken place that we're stuck in is called fear. And when your ass scared, you either not going to do anything or you might hurt somebody. But see, that's why they beat us up with it. They beat us up with the fear. They show a bunch of us getting murdered. Then they show a bunch of bad food stuff. They implant more fear in you. You see? And that's to keep us at this sunken place that we're caught in, family. So another thing we must become is symbol literate. We have to start reading between the lines, family. Like they say, use discernment. What is the sunken place? What do they mean by get out? Get out of what? A lot of people think that this movie was just about him getting out of a house, running away from monsters. People think it's a horror movie. It's not a horror movie. It's a thriller, but it's not a horror. If you want to call them people monsters, you can, but I'm gonna call them white supremacists because that's what they were. That's exactly what they were. They were white supremacists. And they control black people the same way the white supremacists control us in society. Through mental programming, through subliminal suggestion. You see? Through social engineering. And see, when we become symbol literate, we'll start to see those things. You see? And this is why we must start to teach our children to read more. We must teach our children to read again. A lot of our children don't read no more because of the computer. We got to buy books again, family. They about to start closing libraries. What is going to be the use for a library? They could put the goddamn library on the computer. You see? But if more of our kids were reading actively and people saw that, more schools will stay open, more libraries will stay open. You go in a lot of these black neighborhoods now, you probably only got one library, maybe one. And if it is one, it's small as hell. It's basically like a computer room. When I was growing up, we had 2, 3 libraries. We had 2 libraries on our side of town and one that we could walk to that was far away. See, nobody paid attention to that. How they closing libraries in inner cities. For real. Shout out to Hey Roo. Peace, bro. But we have to become symbol literate also, family. That's another solution. We have to start becoming decoders, decoding the matrix, decoding the bullshit that they presenting to us and peel back the layers so we can understand what they're really talking about and who they're really talking to. Because a lot of the movies that come out, they're talking to us or speaking in reference to us. But we don't understand that because we go and watch movies for entertainment purposes only. I'm not saying don't go to the movies to enjoy yourself, but you're not supposed to only watch movies if you claim to be aware. You're not going to only watch a movie for entertainment purposes. You're going to see certain things naturally if you're aware. If you're aware of symbolism, if you're aware of satire. But if you're not aware of these things, you won't be able to decode it. And this is why we must become symbol literate. So when movies like this come out, we can deprogram them and make the proper reviews for people to properly understand what the movie was truly about. Instead of thinking this was a good ass horror movie when it had nothing to do with horror. You see? But they made most people think it was a horror movie because how it was what? Promoted. How it was what? Advertised. You see? So they kept not you or anybody in the chat. I'm speaking in general. They kept your mind, in the sunken place of what? Entertainment. Oh, it's just a good horror movie. See, they keep us caught in that mindset of it just being entertainment, of it just being a movie. No, they showing you what really goes on in real life. Because that same brother who's in that house is Kanye West. That same brother who's in that house is Lamar Odom. You see? Same people. I'm going to drop the link one more time, family. Nobody come on. I'm going to end the show. Shout out to everybody. You know, thanks for coming through, showing your brother love. I love the conversation. I love the dialogue. And I love for us to just communicate in a cordial way about progressive things. You know, that's why I separated myself from what I was used to. You know, peace 118, peace. But that's why I did that. Because I was caught in Who's that? Who's that?
Ru.
Peace, brother. Hey, Ru. Peace, bro.
What's up? I haven't seen it yet, but so basically the movie's about, from what I'm getting from you, is like mind control a little bit, in a way. You know what I'm saying? Is that what you're getting?
Oh yeah. Yeah. What I was saying was that it's not specifically about mind control, but it shows how they use mind control to basically enforce white supremacy.
Oh, okay. I'm with you.
And in the movie, we can see specifically and literally how these white supremacists came to these people's house and had an auction where they were selling black people. And the brother who was the main character of the movie, he didn't know that they were selling his ass. And the girl who he was with, who he thought was his girlfriend, she basically works for her parents.
Oh, okay.
And she goes out and picks these bucks, these strong men, these strong black men, or these very intelligent black men. See, what they do is they scout for people. Because the father, he was a doctor, he was a scientist.
Okay.
And the mother was a psychologist. So the father, being that he was a scientist and he worked in corporate America and he knew a lot of wealthy white people, he would go and send his kids out to lure specific black people in to white folks who want to purchase them for specific things. Like the main character of the movie didn't know he was being sold to a wealthy white guy who was blind. So he was being purchased for his eyes. This is why the cover of the film is showing his eyes.
Okay.
And that also shows that the eyes is the window to the soul.
Right.
And that's how he was programmed or hypnotized and sent to the sunken place.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess, I mean, we need these type of movies, you know what I'm saying? But then like you were saying about the library too, I mean, we got plenty of libraries here, but I don't know, some people just don't like, we don't like to read stuff, you know what I'm saying? This stuff's been going on for years, right? So when this stuff comes out, people will get so, I don't know, like amazed about this stuff. Like this is really going on. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
See what you said, bro? It correlates right with the subject because we're caught in that sunken place in our minds. So when we wake up, the first thing we think is like the people in the movie. I gotta get out. I've been caught up this whole time. I gotta get out. And this is why people when they start to read and get their subconscious mind out of that sunken place, the first thing they do, they wake up angry.
Yeah.
And if you watch the movie, bro, when one of the sleeping black people woke up, they woke up angry and killed someone.
And
You see?
you know what? And that's like you were saying too about you talking about when I'm killing someone. Like you was talking about the people, what we gonna do? You know what I'm saying? You gonna go out and blaze glory and all this stuff? I mean, you got to really think stuff through before you react.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that white supremacy, it make you sick mentally. I mean, all over, man. You know what I'm saying? There's been studies on that, and people look over that. I mean, it literally can make you sick, make you snap, and you wonder why all this stuff is going on out here with the mental issues and everything. That's part of it. You know?
Yeah.
You know, white supremacy got layers and layers and layers of this stuff, man. It's just not something you just can get rid of overnight. You know?
Exactly.
So basically, like you said, you have to get out. You got, I mean, but with all corporations and stuff, if you're talking about you really want to get out. I mean, at this point, there's no, I don't see how. I mean, unless you're gonna live like somebody like in a hut or something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm serious. I mean, because you think about it, capitalism is basically like worldwide now. You know? I mean, and that's part of white supremacy. You know? So I don't know, man.
I agree, bro.
I'm just thinking that we just gotta focus on the stuff we need to do, and do it, and then cut off much of it you can. But because think about it, you gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? But where are you gonna store your food? In the refrigerator. You gotta buy from them. Where are you going to cook your food? And on the stove, oven. You gotta buy from them. I mean, unless we come up with some type of stuff like that, but that, you know how much money that's going to cost a person, unless they come up with some technology that can do something. So it's a layers and layers of this, man. And this mental, like you said, it's a mental game. It's a mental game.
I get where you growing, bro. Because a lot of people, they do get extreme with the black empowerment thing. So I understand what you're saying as far as being practical, and I totally agree. But when I speak of black empowerment, I'm talking about not us just being successful as a race, but us being free.
Yeah. Okay, I agree.
And when I speak of freedom, we gotta be free in our minds and our hearts.
Yeah, that's where it starts first.
And facts. And from that, I think then we would have more of the institutions.
Mm-hmm.
Like what you try to touch on, saying that where we're gonna go for certain things if we don't have things set up already. Understand what you're saying. Because that's logical, practical. But this is why we must get out of the sunken place first.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because once we get out of that sunken place and free our minds and our hearts, then we will start to be able to build, and then people will support us.
Yeah.
Then we'll trust one another to go in business with each other.
Yeah.
But if we caught up in that sunken place trying to build, all they gotta do is snap their fingers and your ass back in the sunken place. Or like what they probably doing to Colin Kaepernick, draining him of his assets.
Yep.
I bet you your ass will stand now.
Yep. Because he figured if I don't do, this is what I'm thinking. He wanted to go to another team. So he probably figured I'm gonna just stand up, because if I don't, they ain't gonna pick me. And I'll just be out. You know what I'm saying? I might have, see, that's another thing. We don't know how much these people really be having. And they get these contracts. They can be spending all types of money and don't really have nothing. So they get, that's another thing that if you go and play sports and you get these big contracts, you better save up some money if you're going to speak out. You know what I'm saying? The only person that I known that really recently was dude from Seahawks. What's the dude's name? Shit. What's his name? Lynch. You there?
Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah. He be speaking on some real stuff. You know what I'm saying? Only thing is that Skittles thing, but he do be, like, what's up, African, and be saying all types of stuff, man. But it's like you said, man, we gotta get our minds right. Get our minds right, man.
Yeah, because with Colin, I think, like you said, if he's trying to go to another team, he cannot go with that political shit.
Yep, that's exactly what they probably saying. Like, nope.
Because those corporations are not going to stand behind that message. And he's going to stand down and play the role once again, because he doesn't want to go back to the sunken place, which is poverty for black people.
Yep.
You see? And this is how they keep niggas in line.
Yep.
This is how they keep resources out of the black community at the behest of our leaders and celebrities. Because they will threaten to cut their resources off.
Right.
Oh, you want to feed their kid? All right, nigga, we'll make sure you can feed your own.
Yeah.
So now you pick who you want to starve, your kids or theirs. And that's white supremacy.
Yep. And I can see that happening too, man. Just like you said it. Yep.
That's white supremacy, bro. But see, the brothers who stood with Colin and took their kneel and didn't stand, why aren't they standing up and fighting for Colin now?
That's some shit.
See,
Yeah.
this is
I wouldn't even think about that. Yep.
We like to march when everybody out there marching. But what about when most of the niggas go in the house?
Yeah.
You see? Are you gonna be that type of leader? Are you gonna be the leader that answers the phone 4 o'clock in the morning? When somebody's son just got murdered and you gotta comfort their mother? Are you gonna be that? Or are you just gonna be the ones that make little promotion stances that help you continue to make money?
Right.
We got to question that.
Yes, indeed, we do.
Because we can't build from the sunken place, bro. And I ain't directing this at you, but you know we just talked.
Oh yeah,
We can't build from the sunken place.
Yeah, you could tell me I'm not the type to get all mad about that type of stuff. To me it's empowering me. You know what I'm saying? Some people
Right,
just
bro.
get pissed off. Oh, you saying this about me? Oh, I'm not that. You know, that whining stuff. Those days, you know, whining. You know, you gotta cut that out. You know what I'm saying?
For
I mean,
real.
you know, your mother used to get on you. You know what I'm saying? On you heavy for the people that do it. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. And then the ones that had fathers, they'll do the same thing. Or you know what I'm saying? So why complain about, you know, how this life is? Why complain about that type of stuff when somebody trying to improve your life? You might not see. I don't know, man. Some people.
Because they trying to build from that sunken place. They're not trying to come up out the sunken place first.
Yeah.
See, you can't help nobody come out of a situation that you in. And this is why I always say we must always admit that we're all hurt.
Yeah.
Because if we don't admit that and we just trying to fix each other, in the midst of that, communications could get mixed up, and in turn, we start hurting each other. And people don't understand how powerful these live streams and edifying these live streams are for us. Because we really don't know what people are going through behind these computer screens.
No, we don't.
So if we constantly getting into frivolous arguments where it leads to us beating each other down, somebody might commit suicide. We don't think about it.
Yeah. So it's good. This is good and bad. That's why I say about this internet stuff. You know, it's good and bad because I'm communicating with you. I mean, we don't really know each other, but I mean, it's like a sense of, to me, this is what my opinion. It's like a sense once you get to seeing people every now and then in the live stream, it's like you do get a sense of who they are in a way. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. It's this is powerful to me. To me, it is. But at the same time, man, like you said, you need people. We be going back and forth like over religion, over sometimes over the smallest things make people get angry. That's what I'm saying. It's like you said, that sunken place, man. We don't know people's lives, what they're going through once they turn off this computer. We don't know. So that's why we need more uplifting live streams. You know, like this to me is uplifting to know what. I mean, even though I'm going to see the movie eventually, but to know that um that we're not the only one that's going through, you know what I'm saying, that's being in a certain place, you know what I'm saying, like mentally, man. It's like this world, man, it can break you down, man, if you don't have the right mindset.
Yeah, bro, you're right. They're saying in the chat, you might need to mute your mic. It's an echo when I talk.
Oh, it's an echo. Hold on, let me get my plug. Ask him, is this better? Is this better?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. You can hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. But yeah, bro, that's very important because, you know, when you see certain people behave a certain way, you could tell that they're coming from that sunken place. When a person could be one way one time and then be another way when a situation occurs.
Mm-hmm.
And that also shows, you know, how much pain that we deal with as a people, you know, and we have to understand that it's our job to heal from our wounds. And being that we're like-minded people and we can relate to each other, I think that we can help each other heal through being transparent in our conversations. And this is why I say, you know, or like you say, I agree with what you're saying, that these things could be good and bad, but it's our job to use it for the good.
Yeah, I agree.
It's our job to use it for the good. It's not our job to use it as a weapon against us. We should use this for the empowerment of our people. Because I feel like in order for us to exhibit power to the world, we have to be empowered first. And I believe there's not a lot of empowerment. That's why we don't display a lot of power to the world, because we're not showing each other that we empowered first. And the way we do that is by how we deal with each other. You know, I learned a lot since coming on these live streams and meeting, you know, y'all good people, because it it just teaches me certain things. Like, now I address my brothers like brother. I still say nigga, I ain't gonna lie, but I say brother a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
I say king a lot more. That's at, you know, I could thank you brothers for that. You know what I'm saying? I could thank you brothers for that, because y'all are helping me with certain things. And those things, just when you say brother or when you say king, you're gonna make sure you treat that man in that manner, in the way you addressed him. So if I'm calling you my brother, I'm not gonna address you other than that. If I'm calling you a king, I'm not gonna address you or communicate or deal with you other than that. So we have to understand that coming out of the sunken place, when we come out of it, those are some of the basic things we must start doing. Just basically changes certain things that we say. Affirmations,
Right.
you know. Shout out to the brother Q Butter. He makes everybody say, I am great. That's a great affirmation. That's a great affirmation, you know, for your children. You know,
Mm-hmm.
those are things that we need to start doing to pull people out of the sunken place also. That'll help pull them out. If you constantly telling him you a king when he think he a ain't shit nigga, and then you showing him he a king, and you showing him that you a king, and you treating him as such, he will begin to start to wake up and to be aware of certain things. And I think that's healthy for us. And I believe it's our job as brothers to do that for the brothers, and the sisters got to do that for the sisters. You
Yo,
know, it can't be no mix. You know, it can't be, you know, brothers trying to teach the sisters and sisters trying to teach the brothers. Now, y'all could teach us about sisters, about women, and we could teach y'all about men. But when it comes to the issues of that gender, I think that gender need to handle those issues, you know? And That'll help us come from up out of this sunken place, family. And those are just some solutions that Black people could use to get out. And when I say get out, because white supremacy is a global system, we'll never get out of it, but we'll get out of our own way. See, we got to get out of our own way too. And I think those solutions are begin to help us. You know, so you got anything else you want to say, bro, before I close out?
No, just that I agreed with everything you were saying. I got to go and see the movie. But yeah, that's it. Just wish everybody a good day. You know what I'm saying? And just keep on improving. That's the only thing I can say right now.
Thanks, bro. You know, thanks for coming through, you know, showing your support, lending me your time, lending me your perspectives, you know. Well honored and appreciated, man. When the next time you coming on live, bro?
I don't know, man. I'm trying right now. I'm trying to get this daggone H2 recorder, H2 microphone recorder work. So, because I'm trying to do something here with we having a damn city council election coming up, and we getting these people from getting some outside money coming in here. So I gotta do something with that. But other than that, I don't know, man. I gotta think of something, or this might just come on and just be like a freestyle thing,
Okay.
That's what maybe I might do.
Salute to you, bro. You know, I don't know if a lot of us, you know, was privy to that information you just gave me, but salute to you, bro. Good luck. I'm proud that you're making those types of moves, because
now I'm not running for it. I'm not running. I'm not running for city council, but
the support.
I got it. Yeah, man, because they getting these money from the Koch brothers, the Koch brothers,
Right.
And they tried to, like the last time they had this thing, like a year or two ago, they came in trying to take over. Basically, like we got like seven city council members. Come on, seven, and they trying to force it to be like 13. 13 bringing. It's crazy, man. But I just, it's a long story what they doing, man. Just like it's basically like gentrification over here, man.
Right.
Yeah, you know how they doing all over. But yeah, man, I'm gonna catch up with you next live stream you have, of course. I try to get on everybody's.
Indeed,
You know
bro.
what I'm saying? But yeah, just building up, man. So wish everybody good luck and have a good day.
Peace, bro.
All right, peace.
So I'm a shout out to everybody in the chat. Peace to everybody. Thanks for y'all coming through, tuning in with me. I'm your host, DS1 Ross. I represent y'all, family. I love y'all. Until next time, family. Peace.